Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some crazy news when it comes to Jim Ryan, the good old PlayStation 5 CEO himself. We actually had a pretty exclusive interview going on, basically talking about the future of the PlayStation 5, future of all these different types of consoles, what he wants to do with video games, and overall, just a lot of really interesting things to go and see where the future of the PlayStation 5 is actually going to go. And as well, we also have a very, very special stream going on right now. If you guys want to go hang out over on Twitch, it'll be at the H3000, basically just doing like a little live music recap and stuff, or just hanging out if you guys want to go check that out as well. We mentioned that in the previous video too, but they have some pretty cool music, so we'll be checking that out. There'll be a link down below, as well as the Twitter and Twitch stream down below as I mentioned, Amazon links down below, subscribe for the PS5 giveaway going on the channel itself, and of course as well, sign up for Weeble, deposit $100, you guys go get free stock, free money, Coinbase, you guys go buy $100 worth of any cryptocurrency, you guys go and get free Bitcoin. Those are always linked down below, and let's go and dive in this video itself, because I always love it when these really, really higher ups such as Phil Spencer or Jim Ryan go and talk about it, because it does usually kind of give us a really hint and what's going on in the future, what they're trying to, like, their priorities basically are, and all the kind of good things that are floating around when it comes to all these consoles. Let's go and dive on into this. So basically, nice little exclusive interview that just happened over here from a keynote itself. Basically, let's go talk about a lot of different things, and I'm going to chime in my thoughts on this as well. So basically, Jim Ryan, I would love a world where hundreds of millions of people enjoy our games. The PlayStation 5 president and CEO sets out for his hopes for a more ubiquitous, limitless games industry, which whenever I hear words like that, it always just is a very, very magical, well, just feeling to go in here. So Sony Interactive Entertainment boss Jim Ryan says he wants PlayStation games to be reaching hundreds of millions of players, not just at the very, casual low note of just 10 million for God knows why. In a keynote fireside chat during the GI Live London, the PlayStation boss says that a hit game on the PS4 or PS5 is around 10 to 20 million sales, but hopes that it will change as gaming becomes more ambiguous as movies and music. So here's kind of some major quotes he's had a chance to go and sit over here, and I'm going to talk about this a lot. I hope that the PlayStation 5, and I really believe that the PlayStation 5 will be Sony's biggest and best and most loved PlayStation yet. I hope that will happen, Ryan said when asked about his hopes for the future. So, I mean, that's kind of an obvious duh. Any type of CEO, whether you're at any type of Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, you want everything to go good. You want your console that you made under your control, basically to be the best thing that's ever been made ever. So then when you go down the history books of gaming, man, I just love it when Jim Ryan used to be making that good old PlayStation 5 that every single person on the planet loved. You always want to go down the record books like that. But as of right now, I do think with all the sales going on, the PlayStation 5 is actually projected to literally be one of the biggest consoles ever. And that's not just him kind of, speaking out of his butt. Literally, that is huge. Like right now, we are still on pace / pretty much on par, depending on how many restocks happen throughout a week, on with actually going and getting the console to one of the #1 best-selling consoles. And the PlayStation 4 has literally at over the 100 million console mark, which I'm sure you guys can understand and how absolutely crazy that is, how cool that is, and at the same time too as well, just how astronomically large that is and how many people can go pick up a game and play it. Because I mean, if you even go and factor in the entire population of the United States, that's pretty much 1/3 of every person actually has a console. I mean, granted, it's also global, I'm sure you guys know, but just those actual numbers are insane. And as gaming keeps on getting bigger and bigger and bigger, it's just been a non-stop going up and up and up, because I mean, who doesn't like video games? That just kind of opens up the market to more and more and more, and just the major big issue more so is just the actual act of making them. And I'm sure you guys have all seen this when it comes to the PS5 restocks, where they're sometimes kind of hard to go and get. Especially with this, I hope that the PlayStation, just for that, I would also like to see a world where the games that we make at PlayStation can be enjoyed by many tens of millions of people, perhaps hundreds of millions of people. Right now, success with our current console model, a really, really great PlayStation hit, you're talking about maybe 10 or 20 million people being able to play the game. So once again, dude, he is aiming so high, but this is kind of a really good thing, both for when it comes to restocks and both when it comes to the future of the console. So you first of all have to make a game that people literally want to play. You can't just go around and just go and throw out some random game like a Returnal, which was a great game. There actually has been some rumors of a new DLC coming out for it, but that's not the biggest game ever. It's not those God of Wars. It's not like the Horizons. It's not the Last of Us, where they're just huge or critically acclaimed hits. But that also means we have to have a game that people over 100 million people actually want to play and enjoy and hear about it. Good examples like Squid Games, as these past few weeks, has been so nonstop marketed everywhere because it was such a very, very well made actual like show. So it's kind of in the same boat. Like, you want that virality, you want everyone on the planet talking about it. And gaming is slowly getting to that point as well. And on top of that, too, that also means for Restocks, which is just great news, because if you want 100 million people to play a game on your PlayStation 5, that means you have to literally make 100 million consoles to literally go and sell so people could use it and enjoy it, you know? And as right now, we're only at like around like, the 10 digits. We're I think around like 12, 13 million PlayStation 5 sold. I'm sure that number will have a really big peak up after the holiday season and maybe kind of, keep on tapering off as time goes on. But like, you have to have the consoles for people to go and play. You have to like actually make it. So at least is it good on the restock side, because it just means that they want to utilize and basically take advantage of people to go and play the games. Like, they want them to enjoy their ecosystem, and they want to enjoy the TV shows. They want to enjoy the movies. They want to enjoy the everything, which is awesome to go and see. So like, it's just all around good news when it comes to PlayStation, good news when it comes to the restocks, and it's also kind of good for the broad market because they want to keep on basically doing what they do well, which is making good games and games that people want to enjoy. So even some other statements, we're talking about games stacking up against movies. We're talking about games stacking up against movies. I just said music, movies twice. Music and movies, they can be enjoyed by almost limitless audiences. And I think that some of the art that our studios are making is some of the finest entertainment that has been made anywhere in the world, which I could agree with. A lot of the games that are coming out are great. They just kind of wish they'd come out a little faster, but you can't rush perfection. And to the kind of the gate, the audience for their wonderful art, wonderful entertainment that our studios are making, to gate that audience for only at 20 to 30 million frustrates me. I would love to see a world where hundreds of millions people can enjoy these games, which I do agree on that too as well. Like, I really do think a lot of this stuff is very, very important to go and see on this in general. And as well, we also mentioned too, as well, they have 60 million games redeemed by players through the Play Home system, which we may go talk about throughout this weekend, which is awesome to go and see, and just how many people are going and seeing this stuff as well, which is really, really cool. So basically, it's been a difficult year with game delays and console manufacturing issues, but when you look at the reception to all these major AAA games, the number of studios and companies you've acquired, and the momentum on the PS5, you must be pretty happy with how it's actually gone to as well. So yeah, it's been quite a ride for the last 18 months. We closed the offices in March 2020 like everyone else, and he flew back. His lifestyle's basically been all over the place and a little bit more on the weirder side too as well. And basically also, just moved pretty much everywhere on top of this. But he's just very, very happy. I'm sure you would be on just how everything has been going phenomenal. And one of the big things too as well for this, on top of this, it must have been hard promoting the PS5 without the ability to go hands-on. So basically, he responds saying, "You touch on the difficulties of making the machine in a pandemic. It is obviously extremely challenging, but I am so happy and proud that we've been able to get over 10 million sold through faster than we've ever done before. There's tons of demand out there, but to actually build the machines, get them over from China, get them in the stores and sold, though, has been a horrific effort. But I gotta admit, though, at least they are trying their best and they are getting a lot of stock out there, which has been all around very, very nice to go and see, too, as well." And on top of that, too, for all this type of stuff, too, as well, when it comes to all this, like, they're kind of more so talking about the PlayStation Home Initiative. So basically, they did 2 waves and basically shrugged us that everyone was basically struggling with the first lockdown, and they thought it would be a nice thing to go and do. And then they got through Christmas and a few other places, too, as well, and they just want to be nice and go give out all these games. And over 60 million games have been given out in general, and it is kind of sad, too, because it's just how hard still for people to get these PlayStation 5s and go and utilize them. Which, just in general is like, it's just rough, boys. It really just is kind of all around rough. So at least on the bright side, too, we also do kind of go and see that they might possibly go and tease out some brand new big play-at-home initiatives if they can kind of go into 2022. And as well, hopefully we'll have a lot more restocks tied in there, too, as well. And also some fun things, too, on top of this, too, as well. Do you remember when you first played a PlayStation game? Yes, the first game, you may not remember the game, was Jumping Flash. If any of you guys are really old school into all that type of stuff, too, as well. And also some interesting comments, too, on top of this when it comes to the PS1 and PS2 success. So basically, in regards to the PS2, ended up being the most successful, but what people actually forget was that in Europe, it was really difficult at the start. We're talking around 2000s. European economics were a mess, and there was no euro, so we had basically £300, and we had so much random money all going around there too in general, same within Japan. But basically, at least on the bright side over here too, is when he actually sat down with some awesome people over here like Ken Kukoraki over there, and basically had a chance to go have like really nice sit downs, kind of go and change some businesses and change up everything too as well. And they essentially with this really nice mark of being like, hey, there's a lot of issues with the PS1 and PS2. What can we do to make it better, and how can we make it better? So there's actually a lot of really nifty kind of things kind of floating around too as well. But I do think the main thing you guys kind of care about too is like the future of the PlayStation 5, future of PlayStation 5 restocks, and all this interesting stuff to this as well. Like some things have been like, like what's your favorite game, Ratchet and Clank, and a few other various things mixed on it. But I think the biggest thing for us, it all kind of ties on into as well, is the fact that even Jim Ryan thinks getting a PS5 is rough. He wants us to go get 100 million consoles sold, and on the bright side, at least he is a gamer, and he adds a little bit more extra life and oomph to all he's trying to go and do. So on the bright side too as well, we basically just want to go and have him go and beat music, go and beat everything out, beat movies, and give us a lot of consoles we could all go enjoy it. But as well, the restocks, hopefully we'll have more in the very near future. So I appreciate you guys all so much for watching. Make sure you guys are subscribed, notifications on. Check out the Twitch stream down below for the H3000 streamer doing, as well the Twitter, Amazon links, Webull, and Coinbase, always linked down below. I appreciate you guys all so much for watching. Love you guys.